Awkward silence for the first 7 seconds. Sqwadcast, episode 34? 34.
I thought it was 30.
Is it 30? It could be 33.
You finish out at this point. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it is Antonio and I are back.
Anchovio.
Anchovio, yes, sorry.
Anchovio. Thank you.
Anchovio.
Thank you.
Do you want your name to be said?
Sure.
So, okay. And we have Nikki.
Live studio audience.
So if you hear any claps, it's the real thing. Not that automated shit, okay?
See ya.
You have to clap.
Is that my gift?
Yeah, so it's the three of us talking about best and worst of things. That's what we're gonna do. It could be anything. It could be dates, classes, coworkers, jobs, whatever we think of. We'll talk about. Yeah. So, but first, as always, our airing of the grievances. Do you want to start this time, Anchovio?
I can start.
Okay. I feel like I've gone the past like 3 times.
Yeah.
So
Tim, let me tell you, I'm coming in hot.
oh boy.
So as you
Here we
know,
go.
I work at a mental hospital. I work with the little kids.
Yes.
One of these little fuckers bit me today. See that? It's a mark. And you can feel the little ring from his small little mouth just clamp down. I have been nothing but nice to him. I try my best. I try to be therapeutic. He just decides to bite me today. Fuck him. He's on my shit list now. Like he was already so he was already on like my shit list, but I was still like nice towards him because I don't want to be unprofessional. But then he bit me, so now he's on my major shit list. Like there's no coming back. Like he could probably pay me $1 million. Guess what, kid? Still on my shit list. So basically, ungrateful bitches.
Ah.
That's
Yeah.
that's mine right there.
Okay. That's it. Just the kid that bit you.
It
That's
hurt. It hurt a lot. Oh, I mean,
No, that's fine. That's all I have to
I'm
say.
getting mad all over again. I think I forgot one. So, oh no, another one. The goddamn Baltimore Ravens.
Wait, what
Talk
happened?
about inconsistent. Are you serious? 9 points, 3 field goals,
Right. Yeah.
and we lost to the Browns.
Yeah,
And I know it's
in
a
overtime.
division game in overtime. So I know it's a division game and it's always heated, always a tough matchup. But how do we go from curb stomping the Steelers
Yeah.
to no touchdowns, offensive sputtering? But Flacco only threw 1 pick though.
That's an improvement.
So yeah, it's not like he threw 4. So my grievance with them is that they're super inconsistent and they make me hate my life. But we're 3-2 though. I'm not worried.
Justin Tucker fantasy owners rejoice.
yeah. I mean, really, once we get this isn't sports spot.
Yeah, we're kind of bleeding.
Yep. When.
As we do.
All right. That's my grievance. I'm done.
We
Mine too.
have a sports one too, but we haven't done that one in like 3 months. Like we didn't do it over the summer because of people.
One sport.
So, but yeah. So okay, my grievance I think for the 3rd week in a row is Snapchat.
Again.
It's not about specifically Snapchat. It's the people who I have a few friends who they send you one, then they post it on the story, which is like okay, but then they post it on literally every other social media. With, like, the Snapchat.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, with like the caption on the snap. I was like, really, like you gotta share it everywhere. But my theory is like if you send it one, like you can send people on Snapchat, and if it's a good picture, but like one of my friends is notorious for doing that all the time. And I'm just like that makes me feel less special.
But like, what if they want people to see it who don't follow them on Snapchat? Or what if they want to make sure that you see it, so they send it to you and their story?
That is fine. The sending it to you and your story because it's with Snapchat, but like if you send it, what is the difference of people that you don't have on Facebook or Twitter and only on Snapchat that you have to do it for that?
I mean,
Like, does that make sense?
oh no, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate right now. But I mean,
It's my grievance. We're not arguing.
I'm sorry,
This is
Tim.
not the argument part of the show.
I know it's not Tim. I'm sorry.
Devil's advocate. Maybe the Browns are good.
I mean, they've been close in all their games. Like they lost in the 4th quarter. So yeah. Anyways, That is a perfectly rational grievance.
Yeah.
I agree with you, my friend.
I think that's gonna be the new Idris Elba. It's just gonna be me venting about Snapchat every time. Just find it different.
And
It
pretty
gets
soon-
more and more specific too.
And do you think you'll start calling it snap butt like Bill Belichick?
It's like 5 weeks from now. It's like, oh, I hate how the streets have fire next to them. Just put the number. Like I just sound like it's.
I hate how there are emojis.
Yeah.
I hate how the picture eventually goes away.
I hate they have Comic Sans as a font.
Just gonna get more and more
Yeah,
surly.
more and more cynical. Yeah, I guess that's our only grievance. Kind of short grievance this week, but yeah. Usually we go full on rant.
I know. I think I burned too high with my first one. I had to bring down my blood pressure a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll just get into the main topic: best and worst of things. So I guess where's a good way to where do you want to start this?
I mean,
Hopefully this isn't too loud on the mic.
I can start with the worst movie in a certain franchise.
Okay, we could start there. See where this goes.
I mean, are we trying to stay in the same area, or?
What's the worst movie of what franchise?
I mean, the first thing that popped in my head: Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Utter. Before I start, should I go down this path?
No, I don't. I'm just thinking of
Absolute
midichlorians.
worst movie of. Trying to take a pose. Worst movie of the entire franchise. It is so unbelievably bad. Jar Jar Binks is the bane of my existence. He is so goddamn dumb and useless. It's irky. And then I saw the theory that he should have been a Sith Lord all along because he kind of mirrored Yoda in A New Hope because he was kind of goofy too. I'm like, oh, that would have made sense. But George Lucas had to say no. He went
He came out and said no.
Huh?
I didn't hear he said.
So in the theory, there's like a YouTube clip with like a 12 minutes run of the whole thing, and it's a lot of evidence. But then there's also like a soundbite of Lucas saying Jar Jar Binks is the key to everything. So but clearly he played no major role besides the first one.
Yeah. He
So
was
like
barely in 2, and then he just disappeared.
And he was in the funeral in 3. So it sounds like he just had this bigger role, and George Lucas was like, nah,
it came
which
out
one was
of
much
the first
better.
one.
So that, and then the midichlorians. You don't need to explain why somebody's strong with the Force. Oh, his
I like to
midichlorian
think
count
because
is
of
up.
that's like the DNA that it's like Jedi. What's that thing? The DNA squares, Punnett squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like Jedi Punnett squares. Like,
Yeah, I
have
mean-
like a 25% chance of being a Jedi.
Yeah, like
If you have
everybody.
the dominant Jedi gene.
Everybody. Oh my. Put that on a goddamn t-shirt. No, but yeah, you know. That was dumb. Darth Maul, most badass Sith after Vader.
Yeah. Apparently they expanded on him a lot in Clone Wars.
Oh, yes, they do. And
So
the
I
Clone
need to watch
Wars
that.
are now canon, so he's actually.
Everything's canon. For
Well, all
99%
the
of things are
new-
canon, right? Like including the books and the...
No. So once Disney acquired them, they said that all the previous books were not canon, and there were so many good books.
They're canon.
So
There's
right.
no canon to me.
Oh, exactly.
I've
So.
never read any of them.
All right, what was that? So the TV shows, like the 2 animation shows, like
Yeah.
canon and Darth Maul's and that, he's so badass, and they just kill him off. And also, that's not a fair point. I was going to say that everybody knows that you can't kill off Liam Neeson, but this was before he was a certified action badass. And then the dialogue was cheesy. I hated the little kid who played Anakin. He was good in Jingle All the Way, but Jake Lloyd.
Did he quit
If you're
acting
hearing this,
after
buddy,
episode-
huh?
Didn't he quit acting after?
Yeah,
episode
because
of
everybody
the
shit on
aftermath?
him.
Yeah.
He was so bad. And then, I could go
But
on.
it did lead us to the greatest subreddit of all time in prequel memes.
True.
That subreddit's so ridiculous.
Oh, I don't feel out of control. I'm here for it.
It's the perfect balance of like not taking them seriously but still making hilarious stuff. But, yeah.
And like I'll watch it strictly because of Star Wars, but as a movie standalone, I cannot stand that movie. It's so bad.
All right. Well, since we're doing worst movies in a franchise, apparently to start off, we need the next one is going to be best because we started with the grievances and now we're on the worst of things.
We're only half this cynical, I promise.
Yes, we're gonna be positive. We're gonna balance everything out, just perfectly balanced. As Thanos would say. Yeah. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, mine is Justice League in the new DCEU, whatever they call it, DCEU. I just think the CGI was really bad. There was no sense of danger either. It was literally just the Justice League versus the villain, and like no civilians were in the movie like at all. And I was like, how threatening can it be?
That's the villain with Steppenwolf.
Yes. I watched it on HBO. I refused to see it in theaters, and it came on HBO. I was like, oh, I'll watch it on HBO. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I see what everybody was saying.
That movie was
really. I mean, Flash was decent. But it was also his first movie, so it was like, let's go. Like, you need to explain him and Cyborg, and also have an ensemble movie and Aquaman. That was
you gotta.
So, and they kind of glossed over Aquaman. They're like, oh yeah, he's King of the Sea. Cool, see it.
But I guess they did that because like his movie's next.
Yeah.
But you also can't introduce a new character and say two things about him.
Yeah.
Like you just can't do that.
Fun fact though, my old coworker went to high school with the kid who played Cyborg.
Oh, that is cool.
That was his first movie role. It was he was big in theater apparently. And
okay.
They offered him the Cyborg role. So, yeah, because I was looking at movies. This was a couple years ago. I was looking at the movies coming out, and it came up, and he's like, "Oh, I know that guy." I was like, "You like Ben Affleck? Like who are you talking? Like
everybody knows Ben.
Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, the guy who plays Cyborg." He's like, "I went to high school with him." I was like, "What?"
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So
speaking of Ben Affleck, my dad calls him Ben Affleck, and I hate it. I'm like, Dad, it is Affleck, like the Affleck duck. He's like, no, it's not Tony. I'm like, no, yes, it is. It's Affleck. Affleck. All right, now on to to change it up. Do the best.
Okay, so I have one.
Go ahead. You have one.
We had one of our questions from last week or 2 weeks ago. Last episode, I should say, was best teacher. But I have a follow-up to that question. One of my professors at community college taught history at Broadway, and he was a choir teacher as well at the school, and he was the director of the musical, and he was absolutely awesome. He was so he was kind of older. He was like part-time, retired type of teacher. Like he retired from public school and was teaching here part-time, but still made like so much. Like he stayed after rehearsals to help with some people, even though he could have easily gone home. And he stayed. He helped me out with the following show I auditioned for. Like I was like, hey, can you do that? And he's like, yeah, here are 2 dates. You can come after my class and you can come in and stuff. And he did that with a lot of people. And he just like at the show he was diabetic, so we got him a sugar-free cake for the last show. And that was one of the few times like the cast was kind of split between like the people who went to GCC, the community college, and people who we hired from like the outside because we did Hairspray, so we needed a huge ensemble. So we were like, we desperately need people, and we need people to play the certain parts. Like, we can't have white people playing black people, or vice versa, especially in a show about segregation. So, so they were like, oh, we need like 5 extra black people to play these parts. So it just ended up being like, because we were in school during the day and then rehearsals at night, we got to know each other, where other people came from like other towns and they were here for rehearsal and then they left afterward, and like, but it was literally everybody got together, chipped in for this cake, and we all like said thank you before the last show. And so,
ain't that just the sweetest thing? Who'd you play in Hairspray?
I was Fender, one of the nicest kids in town.
I'd say that's pretty accurate.
I had one line. I mean, I sang a lot because of the Queen College show. But
yes.
Yeah, but literally my one line was making fun of special ed, so.
Or maybe the nicest guy in town making fun of special ed.
That's literally my one line.
Do you remember what the line was?
It was me. It was that scene where, spoilers, I guess.
I mean, if you haven't seen Hairspray by now, you don't deserve a spoiler warning.
It was where Tracy gets sent to special ed because she got in trouble in her class.
Okay,
And
I remember that scene.
her and Penny are talking with that class.
Uh-huh.
And Penny's like, oh, special ed isn't so bad. I think it's something like that. Like, all ditzy, just like, oh, special ed's not too bad. And then I come out, I'm like, special ed. That was my whole line. I was like, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But literally the script said, it didn't give stage direction. It said special ed, snicker, snicker, snicker. And I looked at the director. I was like, do I say this or do I actually snicker? Like, it doesn't have a direction.
You said that.
Like, it's not in, like, what was it, italics or in parentheses. It literally just followed the print of the line. I was like, do I just special ed, snicker, snicker, snicker? She's like, no, just actually laugh. And I was like, okay. But yeah, so that's a part I played. That's a fun show. That was my friend who lived in New York. She was Tracy.
Oh,
So, yeah, that's how we were
is she
friends.
also a music teacher?
Yep. Her
Okay.
and her boyfriend are both music teachers.
Nice.
Like I said, the entire person.
Yeah.
Music teacher.
At Juilliard.
No, not at New York public schools.
Oh, classy up there.
But yeah, that was the best, or one of the best teachers I've had. I mentioned the last one, and I had a few others, but just give the show a praise.
One of the best. You know what? I'll go my best job. Believe it or not, I know I was angry earlier. It's probably the job I have now. I mean, my cool. You know
Are you
what?
talking like best career job or best job like you've ever had?
Just not career job, just the best job ever. I
Okay.
mean, like lifeguarding was awesome, but
It's also lifeguarding.
I don't enjoy being hot.
Yeah.
And my company didn't have any indoor pools, so just outside. And also, I'm also a big sweater, huge sweater. So I was always sweating all day. So that was gross. Oh, I'm lying. I'm so lying right now. This is my second best job. My best job
Sorry
ever.
if you're using headphones right now.
Oh, if you're using headphones, I'm sorry. Best job, I worked at the gym on my college campus, and my role was like, actually, not instructor. Oh, fitness supervisor. Fitness supervisor. So basically, you like stood there and made sure that nobody just like crushed themselves with the weight, and made sure they're like wiping themselves down and whatnot.
Fun.
Not wiping themselves, like wiping out the equipment, ask them to re-rack, basically make sure nobody dies. That was my job. But it was so great because I sat there with like one of my best friends now, actually in his wedding next year. We just sat there and just shut up with the entire shift. We just made fun of everybody, and it was easy. You didn't have to do anything. And afterwards or before, you could just work out and then just go 2 feet and just stand there and talk about people. And, you know, always girls in the gym. So it was always a nice view. But you can't, but see, what sucks about the job is like, you can't go to them. And like, with any job, if you're working, it's a little unprofessional to approach girls. But like, you're sitting there watching them work out in tight clothing and sweat. Probably not the best time to go to them. But we had this coworker, like that was his move. He would always approach girls. I'm like, dude, you need to stop. Like, this is so unbelievably creepy. Like, they're sitting there working on it. It's like, you need to spot. What's up? They're like, not from you. They don't.
Yeah, weird. Yeah.
So, no. But yeah, I mean, the people I work with were cool. My manager was awesome. Always bringing
That's always a good thing.
Oh my gosh, she was the best. If I had to call, she's like, hey, like, I understand. You don't have to make it up. Yada yada. I'm like, oh, wrote me a letter of recommendation. Like, me and her were
great.
Like, me and her were pals. She was fantastic. And like, not to brag, but I also got Employee of the Year. The only year I worked there. The only year I worked there. So, humble brag. But yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of cool people.
That's good. I would tell you how.
Can I tell a story?
If you want, you might have to scooch up a little bit.
I don't want to interrupt.
No, come on in.
I'm done.
This mic is good, but I don't know if it's that.
So I was literally at physical therapy today, and I normally go, and it's like at the same time. So the normal people that I see
Yeah.
over and over again are there. And and I'm pretty friendly, so I'll always say, "Hey, how's it going?" To even like the people that are there that I just continually see, and and this guy that I've seen there before goes, "Night, Connor," who's the physical therapist, and then he goes, "Night, sweetheart," and I just freeze, and Connor, the physical therapist, goes, "Who are you saying sweetheart to?" And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "Who are you saying sweetheart to?" And he goes, "Oh, you know," and then he kind of like gestures over to me, and then he goes, "No, she's like a miss, or like, good night, Nikki, you could say her name." And he was just called out, but the whole situation of seeing your friends, like, or not your friend, I don't know, just hitting on girls
it's
in the
just
gym
like-
is so uncomfortable, and I just froze, and I go,
Super uncomfortable.
"Is he saying sweetheart to me? Because this is super awkward right now."
Yeah, not.
Never
not
said
fun.
hello, maybe haven't exchanged anything other than a hello to him, and I'm like, "No, man, that's not it."
There's one of my old roommate's friends was like that. Like he wouldn't even like introduce himself to girls. He'd just like walk up in the bar and like start dancing. I'm like, you can't do that. Like,
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
I have a friend who not only did that, he would like grab them. I'm like, no, no.
Yeah,
Stop! You
on
cannot
first.
do that. Like,
Yeah.
talk about like, hi, would you like to dance? You don't just go grabbing
Yeah,
people.
ask her, make a conversation. I know it's loud in a bar, like,
Or
but still, like at least
most should be like,
acknowledge it.
like you, me,
Some sort of
Dancing?
eye contact,
Something, not
some
just,
sort of signal.
like, oh, there's a butt. I'm gonna line up on that thing. No.
Here's the butt.
It was also like really cool, like seeing everybody's like routine. So I was with the same people at the same time. But then I'm like, hold up, you come in here Tuesdays at 9. Why are you here at 7? Like, what's going on here? And I felt like I knew them a little bit. Like, oh, like you wear this day in a non-creepy way, but like they usually wore the same stuff, which I thought was really weird.
Yeah.
Like this one guy had the exact same like Monday outfit, so every time, and then
Every Monday.
one day he had on something different. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, laundry day. I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense. But like, I'm not your schedule though. I know what you're gonna wear. So that was an awesome job. I wish I could do that forever.
My last job was pretty good. I didn't want to leave it, but I don't want to say it because
Out, where you met Kelvin?
no, the last school job I had.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if I can say it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On the internet. That was a really fun job. It was a lot of good people, some bad people, but PE department was awesome. Just 3 sarcastic guys and me. Like I just came in, I was like, these are my people.
Yeah.
It was like you just sit and talk to them. My supervisor was great. Superintendent was great. Different programs are good too. Like I would jump in between, like see different kids from different programs, and teachers were all the same. So that was probably. I mean, I was not to brag, but I've had pretty good jobs. Where I met Kelvin was a bad job.
Okay. Because I was like,
That's why
I
we're
didn't-
friends. So we
yeah.
vented about.
no,
how
yeah.
bad
No,
that
yeah. I was
job
like, I didn't think you liked that job very
No,
much,
that was
but okay.
Ooh man, that was actually going to be my lead into the worst customer I've ever had.
Ooh.
It was on Sundays we closed at 11. It was a restaurant. Every other day was at midnight.
Mhm.
This was Game 7 of the 2016 finals.
NBA.
Yeah, NBA
Okay.
finals. Game 7 Sunday night. The herd leaves. It's like 10:45 at night after the game. Like everybody leaves. And these 2 guys look in and they were like, oh, we've been waiting for like an hour. Like, why haven't we been sat? I was like, because Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It sounds like you're not going to get sat. And they sit down and it's like I said, it's like 10:45. We close at 11. I tell them right off the bat, I'm like, hey, like, kitchen closes at 11. Like, any order needs to be in by 11. Like, I do my spiel first. I'm just like, hey, I'm 10. And I'm like, before I get your order, like, and I was like, can I start, like, do you guys know what you want, or do you, like, and he was like, just get us a couple drinks and then we'll order. I'm like, clock's ticking. So I go back, they ordered, I get it in with like 5 minutes to go. kitchen is upset, but like I was like, look, like I'm sorry. They order, it's like 11:15, and I drop off the check. I say like, thanks for going out, and they're like, no, like we want dessert, and I was like, it's 15 minutes past closing, and I told you ahead of time, like this is when the kitchen closes. So I talked to the manager, and the manager was like, hey, come dessert, like they're still customers. I was like, okay, so go in, bring in the dessert 15 minutes after the kitchen closes, and the one cook yells at me. He's like, damn, like, what's going on? Like, we're not. I was like, blame the manager. Like, he's the one that told me to do it. I didn't want to do it. I'm on your side. But, and then they got it, and then they, ended up, because, like, with a restaurant, you can't leave until they leave, and you gotta clean the section and all that, and I'm just like, I'm already stressed from game 7. Like,
are these the chicken wing guys or somebody else?
Somebody else.
Okay.
It's easier to say than not chicken wing guys at that place. Like, wings were ordered quite a lot.
Cause like you told me a story about like some like chicken wing guys who were giving y'all a hard time too. So
I think I know. Yeah, there was guys that like ordered their second round, but then stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to me more, and then they ordered like extra bread or something like that, or like extra well done, and they were like, "What's too well done?"
Yeah, extra crispy.
The douchebags.
Yeah. But to balance that out, greatest customer I ever had, they always tipped $25 on the check, and most of the time it was between $80 and $100, and they're just like a super nice family. They ordered the same thing every time. The kid, it was funny. He was like 12 years old. He always asked for no chives, but he meant parsley. But like none of us had the heart to tell him. We were just okay, no chives. We don't serve chives, but okay, no chives. He always ordered a spaghetti with no chives, and he ordered always a burger well done. The wife always ordered a salad, and they always got wings as an appetizer, the same amount, same sauces, but they're so friendly every time.
I mean, I don't know why they're so nice, because they're sociopaths. the wife ordered her burger well done. Can't trust her.
The dad did. The wife got the salad.
Oh,
or
the dad.
A type of salad.
The dad got a burger and spaghetti.
The kid got spaghetti.
Oh, listen to me not listening.
You didn't hear
Listen
any
to me
of
now.
those.
Okay, so the dad is a psychopath, then he ordered a burger well done. But that seems like a nice, quaint little family.
No, what they're super friendly, and people always got jealous. Because I got them like 5 times in my like 9 months tenure, and I'd be like, yeah, no chives is in, and they'd be like, oh, you got no chives, like because the kid, like that's how we referred to them. Like I didn't even know their names, but they're just so they were friendly too. They always said like please and thank you. And
yes.
They were friendly. Like if I went in and checked, and everything's great. That's really great. Like that.
Yeah,
It's just like okay, we're good. Like they're very what's the word? Engaging.
That's nice.
So, yeah.
So I have a best and worst, I guess, people at my life grading job. So the worst was so I was guarding at this pool in Columbia, and it was like at like these condos, basically old people, because I only saw old people there, minus like the occasional young couple. So it wasn't like the property manager, but it was like this old woman who was like the head of the pool or whatever. So basically I had to report to her. She was always on my back. I had like 1.5 people come every day. And she would just be like, oh, Tony, what's this in the pool? I'm like,
water.
Yeah, that's a leaf. She's like, well, why is it skimmed up? It fell about 10 seconds ago. Like, I'm not going to just sit there and wait for something to happen to skim it up. She was always using like these extra tasks.
Just being on guard with this.
Yeah, like, no. Like, my job is to guard the pool.
Yeah.
I mean, I would always clean it. Like, it was always clean, but if she saw one speck, I'm like, ma'am, you have trees literally surrounding the pool. I don't know what you think is going to happen here. And, like, their filter was broken. So, I'm like, well, your filter's broken, so it's going to be even dirtier. You should probably looking to get that fixed. I mean, but she was the worst. I was never doing anything right, and I did everything right. I did nothing wrong. And, like, there was even, like, a party somehow with, like, 30 people. I'm like, hey, I need to call my boss because the ratio was, like, 20 to 1, and there are, like, 10 to 50 more people here. And she was like, no, you can do it. I'm like, no, I need more.
No, this is illegal.
Like, it's illegal. Like, you're going to get shut down.
Yeah.
But like my company was a shit show, so they didn't send anybody. I'm like, well, this is what I'm going to do anyway. So, I was there by myself. I did the whole party. I was cleaning up. She's like, why isn't the pool clean? Because you're a fucking guest. Didn't clean up after themselves. I'm getting the food and stuff first, and then I might clean the pool. You do it. I mean, obviously I didn't steal this. I'm just like,
this is all in our head.
I hate you so much. And then she would like swim once a day, and you know she got on her. Huh?
Your manager?
No, the woman I reported to at that pool. So like she wasn't my manager, like, and she wasn't the property manager. She was like in charge of the pool operations for whatever reason.
Okay.
So she was annoying.
But she wasn't with your company. She was with the complex.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah. Like she lived there.
Oh.
And she was like head of the pool committee or whatever. So for some reason I had to report to her. I'm like, I don't know why. So
like the party planning committee.
Yeah, exactly. So she had like all this fake power, but my actual boss was like, yeah, I mean, like she, like for whatever reason, like she's in charge over there of the pool, so like just kind of make her happy. I'm like, it's impossible. and she would like swim every day, and she would have her goggles on. She was like, there's stuff at the bottom. I don't have a vacuum. I can't get it up. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not going to pick it up by hand. That's crazy. And I tried to use the skimmer and do it. I got in the water to try and clean this pool so I wouldn't get bitched at. Guess what happened? Guess I got bitched at. Me. And I swore she only swam every day just to try and like watch me, because she was never she could barely walk, basically. Not that mobile. And then I was like, hey, like, you know, boss, like, I need out of this pool because I feel like she might try to get me fired. So they put me back to my old pool. And then my sister works there, never swam, never had any problems. So my theory, she hated black men. I'm just like, well, I mean, because, like, me and her did the exact same things.
Yeah.
She never swam when she was there. And then there were never any issues. Whenever shit happened to walk by. So she was the worst. But then my best experience is this family at my main pool I was at for the 3 years, the 5 years I was at the company, however long it was. It was his mom, her son, and then like mom's boyfriend. They were always so nice. Like whenever it was packed, they were like, hey, like, we don't want to be about like, what can we do? I'm like, what can you do? Just keep being your delightful self. They brought in pizza.
Ooh.
Couple times, and like they would just like talk to us like we're people. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then like when I left, I'm like, I mean, if you ever need a babysitter for him, like let me know. And I ended up babysitting him a couple times. I have a picture of the mom. This is bad airtime right now, but the kid's so stinking cute.
I'll just put up a picture of like, I'll put up my basketball picture. It's on my fridge right now. Or my Twitter picture.
But yeah, so they were my favorite. Always super polite, super helpful, and I just wish everybody was like them.
We got about 15 minutes, and then we'll take questions from the studio audience. Trying to think what else they would be. Honestly, I would say roommates, but we could spend an entire episode on that. I could spend an entire episode on that. Oh, that is a cute.
Isn't he? And that, like now he's so big. Like I'm friends with mom on Facebook, and yeah. I'm like, oh, you stud. Like, he's gonna be a lady killer when he's older. I'm like, go ahead.
Stud muffin. One of my friends Snapchats her nephew all the time, and he just turned 1. He's this little chunk with like wispy red hair. It's adorable.
I love kids.
Yeah.
Can't wait to be a dad. I mean, I can, but I can, if that makes sense. You know.
My friend that I visited over the weekend, she was talking about like her future plans with her boyfriend. They've been dating, I think, almost 2 years now. Almost.
I want to know what that's like.
And but then she was talking. She's like, "Well, we're living in the city now, but like once we have kids, we probably want to move out of the city. I don't know if I want to like still work in the city, or if we live outside of." And she's talking about all those future plans. And I'm just like,
And I'm like,
I want to, but like at the current moment,
well,
you know, like I haven't I've been dating your boyfriend for 3 years, so I
My best friend got engaged this weekend.
Oh,
so
awesome.
it was like one of those, like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. My cousin / roommate got married a month ago.
Yeah.
He's my age. I'm like, cool, you're getting married. I'm just like, what do I want to eat for breakfast today? Like, he made that big life decision at my age. I'm just like, dude, I am nowhere near that. But good for you.
I know.
Proud of you, bro. Nowhere close to that. Try to get a text back. Shoot. Awkward silence.
I did. It took me a second to hear what you said. That's why I laughed. Yeah.
I'm funny, I know. Thank you.
No, there's I think it was episode 6. I think it was episode 6. I purposely said, I combined 2 phrases on purpose. I said, even, like, I think we always teased our former editor because he would always, like, we would always call him out on stuff he was obviously wrong on.
Oh.
And some of the stuff he was right, like, it wasn't every single time, but, like, some of the stuff, like, he thought OBJ sat for 2 years before making it as a big name on the Giants.
Why would he think that? Where did he even get that from?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
But that just, like, sometimes he would just drop stuff like that every once in a while. We would always call him out. And he said, like, something, it was me and Ryan and him, and he said something, like, really insightful. It was about social media. The episode was about social media, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And he said insightful, and me and Ryan were like, oh, yeah, that's like, that's actually, like, really in-depth, and we agree with you 100%. And then we just all kind of sat there for a few seconds, like, so what do we do now?
Like we usually used to.
And then I said, like, on purpose, I said, even a blind squirrel is right twice a day, which isn't the right saying. It's the 2 and Ryan just, like, stares at me. He goes, what? And I'm like dying laughing because I don't think he realized that.
That's funny.
I was like, no, I said that on purpose, guys. And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, which one of us is the comedian here?
Yeah, like, I know funny. You don't.
Yeah. So it was just a nice moment of awkward, like, 5 seconds, and Ryan going, wait, what did you just say?
That's funny.
That
Even the
and the
blind squirrel is right twice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that just to confuse
just to
people.
see who catches it.
If they be like, wait, what did you say?
Yeah.
And if they just say, oh yeah, okay, I'm like, oh, you're a dumb. I can't talk to you anymore.
Yeah. That's what most of my jokes I like. I like saying something, just throwing something in there that, like, if you catch it, you're like, wait, you just. Oh, the one joke I do, I used to use as my opener. I said, the biggest thing about New Jersey is Chris Christie.
That's funny.
So yeah, but it was always like a 2-second.
Oh.
That's-
Yeah. And the Wakanda joke I have about the Penguins.
Wait, Wakanda? Wait, well, okay, whoa. Wakanda and penguins?
Yes. Okay. I guess I'm a snippet of my material.
If you want the full version, come see.
Yeah. This Thursday night, if it's released by then. This past Thursday night.
Go back in time. Use your time
Yeah.
machine.
It should be released. This is Monday. Should get it out. Anyway, yeah, they found 1.5 million penguins down in Antarctica. Like, that's a legit thing.
Yes,
that happened.
I
Yeah.
did know that. Yes.
Okay, so I joke about that, and I say I have a lot about it, but I say like, oh, what type of Wakanda tech do these penguins have that 1.5 million of them can just hide? And there it is, right? Like, people don't hear it, so now I pause. I say, what type of Wakanda tech do these penguins have? And then I pause, and people are like, oh. That happened at the bookstore open mic I did over the weekend. That was, I said that, I paused, and I looked around, and people were like, oh, okay, that's what he means. And then I drop, I say which idiot forgot to put the invisibility dome back on. And as soon as I say that, then they make the connection. So I like doing stuff like that. I just like those, like, subtle.
And, like, see who's, like, really paying attention. Yeah.
Who's really, because I say when I talk about graduating college, I say, oh yeah, like, I graduated college, and then I have, like, 3 different punchlines depending on the audience reaction.
Ooh.
So it's like, so again into my comedy here. This is kind of weird,
Yeah,
but
taking a free show.
yeah. I say like I graduate college and then it's either complete silence and I'm just like, okay. Like thanks for the support, guys. Like,
okay, that's
or I get like 2 or 3 that are like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, thanks for the 3 claps, guys. Like, and then or I get like everybody like claps. They're like, oh yeah, you did a good job. I'm like, oh thanks, like stop you guys. So and then usually when it's dead silent, I'm just like, oh yeah, shows how much a bachelor's degree is worth nowadays. Can't even get claps at an open mic. Like,
that's so true. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow,
so.
wow, that hit home right there.
So yeah, that was a little bit. Well, we have technically 4 minutes left until our. Do you have any last best or worst situations? Kind of went on a comedy tangent.
Yeah, no, I mean, no.
Yeah.
I can save them for other episodes about
that.
whatever.
Yeah. Do you have any last things to say, or do you have any questions that you thought of? I mean, I have a question.
No, go for it.
Okay. What was the pettiest reason anybody got mad at you? Because I got one right off the bat.
Go ahead.
So if you guys need time to think.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was when I was at the restaurant, we were cleaning, and you had to fill all the salad dressings. Right? And I wasn't, it was called late staying, so I wasn't the closer, but I was the other person. I was basically a closer.
Yes.
But closers need to sign off on what you did.
Uh-huh.
And we need to fill all the salad dressings. And if it was like more than 3/4 filled, even if it wasn't all the way, I'll just let it be. I'm like, I'm not taking the dressing out. I'm pouring in like that much more just so it's completely full. And I did that literally all the time, and nobody ever said anything to me. And then my second to last shift, I do that. I have everything on the cart. I'm cleaning the tables, and she's like, "You're not done your like side work yet." I'm like, "Yeah, everything's on the cart ready to go. Like I'm waiting for the other person to do their half of the work." And she's like, "No, like the dressings aren't filled yet." So I got, and I was like, "I'm pretty sure I got all of them." And literally all of them. There's like 2 of them that are like 3/4, and everything else is filled like all the way because they just weren't used. And she goes, "Yeah, you need to fill these all the way up." I'm like, "I don't do that. Like I've never been told that." She's like, "Well, you need to do it, and I'm not signing off until you fill these all the way up." I'm like, "Really? Like it's past closing. We're all tired. We're all cleaning up."
What a petty bitch.
Yeah, I was like, "What happened during your shift?" Like,
oh my
uh-oh. Are you okay?
I thought of mine.
Oh, okay, well I'm done with mine. That was really.
I've been trying to stay calm. I'm not trying to get red or hot. So at my current job,
I think you failed at that, by the way.
I laughed. Laughter is not getting red hot rage, right? Like Dennis Reynolds.
Like a body seizure over there.
So my current job. So ideally you have like a charge nurse on every shift, but we don't have one for either right now. So our night charge nurse, old woman, just lives to make everybody's life miserable. Like she's just like a grade A bitch. Terrible. And like and it's this thing where like she's been here for like 30 or so years, and my manager is like 28. So she's like, "Oh, like I'm not going to take any orders from people older than, younger than me." And I'm like, "Well, that's your manager." And she just kind of like tries to appease her since she's allegedly retiring soon. But like her appeasing her is making all of us miserable. Like she'll just get in these moods where she'll just pick like every little thing that isn't in the hospital policy at all, but it's the way that she wants it done. So a few months ago, she came in, we're doing the first set of rounds or whatever, and then she's like super passive aggressive, and you know, not all the kids like take out their towels into the laundry bin after ADL time, but we were like, it's your room, like you clean it up. So she would take out the towels and just set it outside their door and just leave it there, expecting us to come and pick it up. But when she asked us, be like, "Oh hey, like I noticed this, you want to come and pick it up?" Oh no, she just left it out there. Super passive aggressive. So we're like, haha, fuck you, we're not gonna do this. And then we get an email like, hey, so, no, sorry, I get pulled in because I'm like the leader like my people on the evening shift, and she was like,
Hey,
"Hey,
off my people."
okay, so like I'm a mental health worker, so like
Yeah.
I lead us, even though I do the exact same thing as everybody else. But if like shit were to go down for some reason, it would fall back on me.
No, okay.
But that never happens.
You are the Moses.
Yes, I'm the Moses. Exactly, I'm the Moses. So me being
Just
Moses,
part the kids down the hallway.
let my people go. Okay, wow, that was
Recess.
fantastic.
That would be recess for everybody.
The manager gets caught when he gets back in.
Oh my god, that was great. So she's like, "Hey Antonio, like, so this week I want you to like go around with this person and do the first set of rounds so we can just all be on the same page as what we want it to look like." I was like, "So what you're saying is you want me to walk around with this passive aggressive woman who wants things done her way because she's old and like crotchety?" And she was like, "I mean, if you could," I'm like, "I mean, I can't say no, you're my manager, but like, just know I'm gonna hate it." And like, so the whole time I was just walking around with her, picking up stuff, and she was like, "You know how to," I almost snapped. She was like, "You know how to turn off the shower because it's leaking?" I'm like, "Yup." I don't have to fucking shower. Like, I don't check to see if they're leaking or not.
Yeah.
So like, she just gets mad over the pettiest things for no goddamn reason except because she hates her own life. I didn't get as hot as I wanted to. Oh, and it's funny because like we teach like DBT skills to our kids, so like interpersonal effectiveness is a big one, and that's like how to like get what you want, say no, and not damage a relationship. And I'm like, so like you want to be assertive and like not aggressive, passive, but the worst of all is passive aggressive. And one time I was like going off about passive aggressive. I was like, so for example, if you want something done, you just put it out in the hallway. Somebody walked by and was like, "Are you talking about so and so?" And I'm like, "Just keep walking, okay? I'm running a group. I'm being therapeutic.
I'm leading my people."
Yeah, I'm leading my people. Like the example fits, okay? The example fits, so it's fine. So that's probably the pettiest I've ever experienced. I'm gonna break her hip. Okay, I'm done. I didn't say that.
Did you have any, or
Yep.
you don't have to? You just kind of.
I did think of one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was the night before I was leaving for China, which I went to China this summer.
Just casual jobs.
Which was amazing. Highly recommend it for anybody wanting to go.
I mean, I'm just going to kind of trip China. Yeah, sure, okay.
And my life was a little bit of a hot mess beforehand, just getting everything organized and packing and making sure my work was in a correct place that it needed to be in order for people to take my responsibilities when I was away for a week and a half. And so I was working really late, and somewhere along the lines for like the visa and everything like that, I don't have a printer at home, so I use my company printer, and forgetting stuff at the office, so I'm getting everything wrangled together. I love calling my family, so I called my lucky winner, my sister, in the car when I was getting there, and I forgot that I took, I don't know why, I think it was because I found a free parking spot for my car, and I'm too lazy to get a Maryland state license, so I have a Virginia state license still, and that means I can still vote and like where it matters more. I don't know. There's a lot of rationale.
Whoa. Wow. Maryland bashing, all right.
No, I'm just saying Virginia needs a little bit more help sometimes.
Virginia is that easy.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got it.
My
I'm
own
just,
state.
Yeah.
But I was in the car, and I took my roommate's car, and I have my work key on my car keys, not on my roommate's car keys. So I drive all the way over there. It might be like 10:30 at night, and I am literally just about to have a meltdown. And I was like, Dee, my sister's name is Danny. I go, Dee, I am about to flip out. I left my keys at home, and I need X, Y, and Z done, and I don't know how I'm gonna get all this stuff together before I leave for China tomorrow. And she goes, well, Nikki, I don't know what to tell you, but it's not that uncharacteristic of you. And I go, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is those kind words that you share to express with me and communicate with me at this point of my, at this point in my night, at this point in my frustration. She goes, well, I don't know, like, it just doesn't seem like this is super surprising. And I go, I can't speak to you anymore. So I'm gonna, if you don't have anything nice to say, I will hang up on you, and I think you're being a butthead right now. Just like a total butthead, can't talk to you. She goes, well, I don't know what else to say, mom's gonna kill you, and I just like hang up on the phone, and I'm like, fuck her! I drive all the way back home, and I call her from my parking lot, the spot, and I go, alright, maybe I was being a little over dramatic, but I think you were being really harsh on your little sister, so time to take it easy. And she just goes, yeah, let's just talk tomorrow. And I'm like, alright. Very petty, but situational, I would feel like. That's the best way to describe it.
I feel like if someone's stressed, you don't make them more mad. You just, whatever's happening, even if you disagree with happening or disapprove, you're just like, get through this and then talk later. Like,
that's how crimes of passion happen.
It's true. It's 100% true.
Your Honor, I was super stressed out. She called me a butthead, so I shot. You understand that, right?
What were you trying to do? Make a Xerox copy?
Oh, a Xerox. Okay, that's why. Because it was Xerox. Okay, regular copy. Oh no, Xerox. Yeah. You're off the hook, kid.
Oh, why didn't you go to Kinko's?
Exactly.
Follow-up court. Why'd you suit the other judge? Next question I had, unless there's another question either of you have. Okay, this one I saw on Reddit, so this was an Ask Reddit question, and I found it really funny. But what was your mom's catchphrase? Or dad.
Oh God, I'm happy my mom will never hear this. So she had several. One, her favorite one. I will beat you through the floor. Not into it. I will beat you through the floor. And I was like, well, that sounds terrifying. I'm like, well, aren't I going to get to China? Like, you can't send me to China, Mom. Back when you heard that, you could dig away to China. But then her other one that she still says to this day is, oh, I'll address that. She wants to address everything. If she thinks a teacher had said something wrong with school, oh, all right, thanks for telling me, sweetie. I'm going to address that tomorrow. She's always, and it's so funny. She's always addressing something. So that was my mom. Definitely her two favorite catchphrases.
My mom always said, no matter what time me and my brother woke up, we could wake up at like 8:30, but if we woke up after her, which was all the time, right, we'd like walk downstairs and she'd like, oh, good afternoon. I'm like, Mom, it's like 9 a.m. Like you like wake up at like 11:30, 12, you can say that.
Ungodly hour.
Yeah, but like it was fun because when we were in high school, me and my brother used to sleep in super late. Especially after marching band season, like our first Saturday off, we'd sleep till like 3 in the afternoon. But like, so that it actually made sense. But like, it got to the point where we were getting up for work all the time, and she would still say, she still says it to this day when we visit. I like get down into like downstairs at like 8:30, but she's already been up for like an hour, and she's like, "Good afternoon." I'm like, "Mom," like, "Ma," but I'm too tired to like say it. Yeah, but that was one. My dad has one with my uncle, so his brother. This is like a family mystery. We have no idea how. Okay. But whenever they call each other, so if my dad calls my uncle or if he calls my dad, whoever answers, they answer with, and we have no idea why. We literally, and I asked my dad, I was like, why do you guys do it? Like, what's the joke or what? How did this start? My dad's just like, I don't know, but we've been doing it for so long that we don't want to stop. And that's his catchphrase. Yeah, just
more like a catch noise.
Yeah, that's
catch onomatopoeia.
Yeah,
it's a sound.
But yeah, that's just how. So like, Sometimes I was in on it with my when I was younger, and I would talk to my uncle. My family has transitioned to the text instead of the call now, but
So that's like text.
yeah, just text. But yeah, that's it's a I don't know how to start. My aunt might listen to this. Maybe she knows because she sees on Facebook. But
Okay.
so if you have an answer, Aunt Kathy, like,
Help
because
us.
neither my dad or my uncle / your brothers have an answer to this. But yeah, those are I guess the two most famous. Yeah.
As a classic. It's so funny.
Yeah, and they still do it to this day as they go on. I'm just like, what? Like,
Nice to keep.
I want to say it started in like when they're in like elementary school together and something happened and they just forgot what situation happened, but they just kept doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
It's a great little story. I enjoyed that. Thank you.
You should do a 2.0 version with your brother.
I'll try to get my brother.
You have a brother?
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No, I did not know that.
You just mentioned him.
Well, I mentioned my dad's brother.
Yeah.
My
Oh.
uncle.
No, you mentioned your brother.
I did when I was talking about my mom. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I said when me and my brother got up in the morning.
Really late, yeah.
You did say that. It took me a while to register. Tim, I gotta throw this sleep last night, okay, buddy? I'm not running well. It's you off air. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Off air. We're in a room.
Well, we're at close to time, so any last questions or thoughts, or did your parents have catchphrases?
My dad has more, but they're more English phrases because he moved from India to London first and then London to US.
Oh,
Yeah.
so like Pip Pip Cheerio?
No. Yikes.
Not good?
Would not. Would nip that in the bud real fast.
I'm trying, jeez.
But Bob's your uncle.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's kind of, in what context? It's like, and there you go. And Bob's your uncle. That's the same.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he does.
What if you have an Uncle Bob? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle. Now what, bitch?
Well, sometimes I do. I do
just like
pull on the joke. I was like, what about Tim? You know? And he's like, Tim's screwed. And he does, what am I Scotch missed? So that's if you're totally ignoring him and he's nothing. So if he's asking a question and my family is talking over him, like he's not even in the space or the room or the conversation, he goes, what am I, Scotch Miss, guys? What's going on here? And I'm like, yes, you are. So he has a lot of quirky British ones, and I think they're British because I don't think the average Joe would say something like
I
that.
mean, I've never heard him Bob your uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, I have another one that I think every parent said though. Can we go to McDonald's? You got McDonald's money? And that just shut me down because what 8-year-old has McDonald's money? Just say, or no, we have food in the house.
Yeah. No.
I had no idea what you just said. What did you say?
Do you have McDonald's money? Every time you ask to go to McDonald's, I always get that reaction. Or no, we have food in the house.
Yeah, that's every time we ask out to eat. Yeah.
Yep, every time. I guess that's just parent wide. They have a little meeting. Like, okay, so we're going to use these two. Do you have so and so money, or we have food in the house?
Yeah. One black coffee.
Mom, we have a loaf of bread and a sugar cube. That's food, isn't it? There are starving kids everywhere.
There's it's a thing me and my dad have started, but it started with the Phillies announcers, the radio announcers for the Phillies. There's one guy referred to like when it's not quite drizzling, but it's still kind of like raining out, like
they're like
misty.
in between.
Yeah, like it's not like. He calls it Invisimist.
That's awesome.
And yeah, he said it on air, and the other announcer just like, what? So now, like, whenever it's kind of bad weather, I'll like talk to my dad I'll be like, yeah, it was Invisimist outside today. So
That sounds like some kind
That's
of.
so funny.
It's like some kind of like Sierra Mist flavor. It's Invisimist.
When I watched tennis, this could be the last story, I promise. But when I watched tennis, it was probably Wimbledon. But when we were really much younger, my sister and I loved the gesture of when the player was asking for a ball from one of the little ball people on the side. I do not know what they're called.
Ball
The ball
caddies?
people. No,
Ball
that's-
people.
Ball people.
It's ball boys and I'm pretty sure just ball girls.
Yeah.
I know ball boys like Wimbledon. They're all boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so-
But it would just be like this really fast, hand outstretched, ready for it, and these little kids, they're kids that are the ball people, would just be so on it and be like, yeah, and then just chuck a ball in their hand. And so I thought that whole concept was so interesting to me.
Yeah. They just like flick the wrist and then
Yeah, and
perfect
it was
bounce
it was
pass,
amazing. It was like instant gratification at its finest, and I always thought that the words to go along with it would be like "Ball me Blazer," and so for I want to say an entire summer after watching this, I would do this to my sister, and wow, I'm telling a lot of stories about my sister. And we would be anywhere, like public pool, or in our hotel room, or if we were on family vacay, which is what we did in the summer, or at the beach, you know, and be like, "Bomb me Blazer!" And she'd be like, "Shut up. I really hate you doing that." It would be sunblock, to get me the book, to can I have my iPad, or can I have my iPod, or whatever. I'm like, "Bomb me Blazer!" And she's like, "No, you need to stop doing that." I'm like, "I just want to be a tennis person."
Oh, that's funny.
I say that to kids in PE class. I'll say it to them. They're like, if we have an activity with balls involved and they're putting it away, or like if one kid's acting up and he's like playing with a ball and giving instructions, I'll be like, "Ball me, Blazer."
I think it's a great phrase.
It's honestly super catchy. You're like, hey, yo. I'm gonna say it to my kids tomorrow and they'll be like, "Yo, Mr. Antonio, what did you just say?" I said, "Ball me, Blazer."
Yeah.
Blazer. Laser. Crazier.
Such a great movie.
So good. Okay.
We need a one obscure movie reference. I think that's it. We went 3 minutes over time.
Hey, can't
Not
stop.
that we have anybody telling us when to stop.
Can't stop good vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, keep going. A few episodes reach an hour and a half. We just kept ranting. The one where the first story episode, I think we've done 3 just like story episodes, and one like we almost ended, and then we all had like 2 more stories to tell. Think of them as someone else is telling something.
Nah, yep.
And then we're like, oh, we're at an hour and a half now.
Like, I thought of another like bad work experience, but I was like, you know what? Let me not even.
So yeah, I think that's it. Unless any last words. Yeah. So that was episode
Number.
30.
Insert number here.
Yeah. Whatever number you want it to be. So yeah, share. That's the biggest thing. Share.
Everybody you know.
On all social media.
Literally everybody you
Yes.
know. And those you don't.
Yeah. Facebook is and Twitter at Sqwadcast with the W.
And the Q. Don't forget the Q, guys.
And the
Very
Q.
important.
SQWADCAST.
Yes.
Yeah. One quick thing is I auditioned for Towson's acapella group my first semester.
You're a singer too?
I try to be. I never been singing. I was in Hairspray. Like, why is that?
Yeah, but if you're always saying like with the ensemble, they could mask you. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but they asked how to spell my name because my last name like nobody knows how. And I said it, and one kid decided to be a smart ass. He's like, "So how do you spell your first name?" And everybody like cracked up. Like, it was funny. And then I was like, "Oh, it's like pterodactyl. It's a silent P."
That's good. That's funny.
So yeah. So share. like share awkward outros as always.
Oh.
I mean, but the biggest thing is to share. That's how we get. That's how we grow. That's how we gained our 4th subscriber earlier today. Share on Facebook, Twitter, any other social media. Share on Instagram if you have an Instagram, which I don't. So.
Me either. Maybe I'll make one to start spreading this.
I was really thinking about creating one for this or Peter.
Oh my God, I had Peter spread. Peter, Peter's going to spread it. It's happening. And I feel like it'll be even better because it'll be like, wait, why is Penguin spreading a podcast around? What's this about? And then, oh my God, yes.
It'll be like the Rate Dogs Twitter account, that we rate dogs.
Yeah,
It'll just be Peter instead of a golden retriever.
Yes.
Yeah, so share on everything, like tell your friends, listen, let us know, give us feedback. We have gotten feedback before from people. And that's kind of how we changed the format. We learned. We used to just talk about one thing for an hour. Now it's like, oh, split it up.
Mm-hmm.
We like to flow a little better. So we like to hear back. Yeah, like the Sqwadcast page on Facebook, follow it on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube as well, if people still do that. I hate saying like, share, and subscribe because it's so cliched and annoying.
Subscribe, share, and like. There you go.
I just like saying share, that way we know we're reaching people. I had people share episodes that they were on, but not even listen to the ones that they were on. Like, I was like, no, what are you? Okay.
What a dingleberry.
My friend Jess, who was a teacher on the education one, and she was on the Coronum team. And I said, I like teased her. I was like, oh, we're doing another one like this week, and she's like, oh, I can't make it. I was like, Jess, you're fired. And she was like, okay, I didn't even listen to the one I was on. I was like, well, come on.
Oh,
Like,
that's just mean.
Yeah. So share and stuff. It has been me, Tim with a silent P,
And Chovio.
and Nikki. You'll get a
with the
nickname.
silent G. Oh wow. Damn, that was a good one.
Like Noki, isn't that spelled with a silent G?
Yeah, and like gnome.
And gnome.
And
Yep.
I had one.
Nice.
Oh no, like
That's a silent K.
like no.
Fuck me.
Oh, and something.
I need to go to sleep.
Like hamster, like no and stuff. That's G.
That was so dumb.
We're gonna end on that note.
All right, see you guys.
Squad out.
Like nice.